Forests, farms, mines, transportation corridors, and construction sites, you'll find heavy equipment wherever you go in BC. You'll also find the heavy-duty equipment mechanics that keep them ready and running. Hey, I'm Brian.
Doug, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Why don't we get you suited up in some PPE and I'll take you out in the yard and show you what I do as a heavy-duty mechanic.
Sounds great.
I'm Doug Fenton, a heavy-duty field mechanic for Finning. As a heavy-duty mechanic, I'm responsible for the basic maintenance and repair of heavy off-road equipment, whether it's wheel loaders, dozers, excavators. Basically anything that's not legal to run on the highway is what I repair. Everything from preventative maintenance to rebuilds of engines, transmissions, different components. I'll come in the morning, check my messages, emails, see if there's any calls from the previous day or last night, and then return calls to customers. If I'm scheduled to go to a job and someone else calls and their machine won't start at all, I go to the machines that won't start first just to get people up and going. That way the customers are happy, and then I'll go and do preventative maintenance. Some days, if it's a slow day, I might only have one job per day, and depends on the length of job too. Some days I can have 3 or 4 jobs. I usually start at 7 in the morning. A regular day ends at 3:30.
All right, Doug, so what are we looking at here? What is this machine?
This is a 966 wheel loader.
Okay.
With a grapple on it for loading logs.
I saw you lock this off.
Yeah, before we do our repairs here, we lock the machine out. This cuts off the power to the machine so it can't be started or moved.
Okay, great. Safety first, right?
Safety first, always.
Great.
Well, as a kid, tinkering on bicycles and helping Dad around home and working on the cars. And then I started into grade 12, did work experience with a local contractor. And then I went to BCIT, did my pre-apprenticeship, which is a 4-year basically on-the-job training. And then once a year you go back to school for 6 weeks and do the theory part of it.
All right, Doug, so what are we looking at here?
What we're going to be doing was going to be changing out this hose here.
This is our exhaust?
That's correct.
And then it just filters through and it injects with the exhaust?
Blows it out, the exhaust.
Okay, so we've gotten this all loosened off here.
Yep,
and
you can give the hose a good pull there and it should come off. Okay, you think you got her there?
I think so.
Okay. When you're working on machines, all of it is pretty much done with hands. I mean, you do use bigger tools than that, but all the fine nuts and bolts, they're all started with your hands. Attention to detail is a big part of the job. You know, working on different equipment, it doesn't take much to throw things out of alignment, making sure everything's just right so that you don't have failures. Communication is key in the job, talking to customers in person, on the phone, emails. Lots of what we do now is done through email. I'd say probably one of the biggest misconceptions, which I even had myself, was when I first started into the trade, I thought it was all just straight mechanical. Things are changing nowadays. There's more and more paperwork end of things, ordering parts, and then at the end of the job, to finish off the job is a service report. Basically a description of what you did through your repair process, what parts were required to do the repair. I would say that if someone was looking to get into it, a younger person, if they have the opportunity to try it first, get their hands on it and see exactly, because it's not for everyone. Because if you have good work ethic and you're willing to work and put in the hours, you can make it in the field, no problem. For me, the most rewarding is going to a down machine that won't run for whatever reason and being able to get it up and running. Everyone's pretty grateful. Seems like you still get a pat on the back, saying, you know, good job, you got it up and going.
Doug, thank you so much for showing me around today.
Not a problem, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. And once again, I'm Brian for Career Trek, reminding you that this career could be yours. See you next time.